The reason why I went on that sidebar about the Bodges exhibit is because there was this one Uncle Bob that what they did is they took everything off Uncle Bob except for this. All the nerves inside the human body. And then it was laid out on a table. So then you could see all the nerves. All right, there's the brain, there's the spinal cord. Then you can see all these nerves that come off the spine. What we just learned, those are called spinal nerves. And then on the other side, there was the eyeball, and there was a nerve going from the eyeball right to the brain. And since that's going to your brain, that's a cranial nerve. That's why I took that sidebar. Fabulous. We're crushing it. One way that you can break it up is structurally. There's another way you can classify the nervous system, and that is functionally. Well, you can say there's the sensory division and there's the motor division. The sensory division is your senses. And like I said earlier, what your senses do is they send messages to your brain. And that is how we're going to define it. And then the other is the motor division. Now, when you define something, and if it's just like different, you want to have like the wording to be exactly the same except for the difference. And if the sensory division sends messages to your brain, the motor division is going to send messages away from your brain. If they're going away from your brain, where are they going to? Yes, your muscles. In the motor division, it's further broken down into two parts, the voluntary division and the involuntary division. What muscles go to the voluntary division? Nailed it! The skeletal muscles, the ones that are voluntary. So, which ones does the involuntary go to? And the to the smooth and cardiac muscles. Whew. All right, we're doing a lot. Now, what this next statement says is like in general, there's just two types of nerve cells. There's these ones that we're going to start talking about now, called the supporting cells. And there's those ones right there, the famous ones, neurons. Today, we're going to talk about the supporting cells. Wednesday, we'll talk about neurons, how your neurons actually work. Now, supporting cells, they're so not famous. And the reason why they're not famous is because they do not transmit a nerve pulse. The famous ones do that. The neurons, they transmit a nerve pulse. Well, what do supporting cells do? Exactly. They support the neurons. Oh, good news if they die. Yeah. They regenerate. Next bullet, lame. There's 4 types. Turn the page. Now, there are the 4 types. The first type of supporting cell are these ones called astrocyte. Can you guess? Why are they called astrocytes? Yeah, because they're star-shaped. Man, I'm telling you, 5 weeks of material here for this unit. It's gonna be a huge test. There's gonna be so many questions on it. And I love this fact. Whenever it applies, the fact is that it's the most numerous nerve cell. There's more astrocytes in your body than any other type of nerve cell. Well, what do? One thing they do is they pick up neurotransmitters. Do you have a light bulb going off in your brain? That light bulb is going back to last unit, right? Yeah, last unit, we said that your brain, it sends a message down the nerve. And then at the end of the nerve, there's this space called the synaptic cleft before the muscle. And then what the nerve does is it releases that neurotransmitter, acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is going to flood the synaptic cleft. Well, here comes the astrocytes. Their job is to pick up neurotransmitters. So what that means is all along the synaptic cleft are astrocytes. Smartboard, draw it. Okay, I'm telling you, they're star-shaped. Not there, they're star-shaped. And they're star-shaped, they're like this, they're like that, they're like this, and they're like that. And what the astrocytes do is they pick up the acetylcholine. And then they recycle it back to the nerve, so then the nerve can release the acetylcholine again. So it goes in here, and then the astrocyte's going to pick it up, and then they're going to bring it back to the nerve. So that's what I mean, that they pick up neurotransmitters. Now the next thing, protect the neurons from the blood. What? I don't get it. In this last bullet, let's make this drawing. I don't like writing low. I'm going to go to a new page. Draw blood. Okay. Now, draw your best astrocyte. Telling you it's star-shaped. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, draw a neuron. You only know how to draw a neuron if you've taken psychology. A neuron looks like this. There's a circle. There's a big, long tail. On the end of a tail, it forks like this. Then there's these hairs that are up here. There's the blood vessel. There's the astrocyte. This is the neuron. Between the blood vessel and the neuron, there's all these astrocytes. Because what we just wrote down is that they protect the neurons from the blood. This means there's got to be something bad in the blood. What can be bad in blood? Oh, maybe there's a bacteria. And if that bacteria leaves the blood and it goes to the astrocyte and it kills the astrocyte, ooh, that's okay, because we learned there's good news. Supporting cells can regenerate. So if it dies, it's just going to come back. So it's keeping the bad thing away from the neurons. Neurons can't regenerate. So if they die, they don't come back. You can kind of think about it like this. They're like a bodyguard for somebody that's really important. That if something bad's going to happen, they're the one that's going to get harmed, because there's another bodyguard will just come take their place. Super. I got to end the video and make a new one.